How are you doing, Derek?
I'm fine, thank you.
I got to tell you, man, I love your music exploration in this album. You take my imagination into some of the most amazing places.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Did you document any of this on film? Because it would be really fun to sit there and watch you bring the things that you do together. I mean, it's just the way that everything just fit together.
Some of it is, but a lot of it isn't. I mean, most of it is just Simon and I in a room, and we're just throwing ideas back and forth, and we're both very open, and there's a lot of respect there for each other's ideas, and we just we'll start with either I'll have a couple sections or he'll have a section, and we react off of each other's ideas, and then within, by the end of the day, we settle on a song structure and format, and it's just I'm very grateful for that musical connection with Simon, because we come up with some really cool stuff.
Yeah, this is not an overnight thing. I mean, you and Simon have been together for a long time, and we've been the receivers of your guys' art.
Yeah, we're going on like 20 years now. Our first record we did was in 2000 called Inertia. And I think we've done like 6 records since then. And it started off when I called Simon in the year 2000 to do that record, to just play drums on it. But as we started working together, it developed into a lot more. He's ended up composing or co-writing with me, and I brought him in as producer. And then I realized how good of a mixer he was. So I said, why don't you just mix, And there it is. And it's just turned into a great working relationship, a great partnership.
I love the way you guys play out the songs, The Scorpion, and in the way that I feel some jazz, I feel some funk. You give me, so many different emotional changes and stuff like that. But it's almost like you knew who we were on this side of the speaker.
Yeah, to me, honestly, people like throwing genres around and different things. It's really hard for me to label what it is. I mean, yeah, there's some jazzy elements in it. There's some progressive rock in it, and there's some rock in it. And I just kind of throw everything into the stew, and unfiltered, I let it come out, and whatever comes out is what it is,
How much of this music was locked inside? Because, I mean, so many times you always hear of how the musicians and stuff like that take parts from something they did 5 years ago versus 10 years ago. How much of this was, or was it all just, pretty much right now?
No, there's one song on here that is a classic riff that I wrote years ago, the song Firehorse, and I revamped it. I took the good parts from it and then revamped it with Nuno. And so that's the only one. Everything else is new ideas.
Well, I love the way that you have kept the door wide open for other artists to come in and collaborate with you. I mean, look at what you did with Key Lime. Not only did you have Joe Bonamassa, but come on, Steve Lukather.
I know that's pretty. A lot of people think it's overkill, but no. The bottom line is, those guys are my friends, and they've played on my albums. Lukather has played on 5 albums. This is Joe's 3rd album that he's played on, and they're always welcome to participate. And everyone is very busy with their careers, and so I'm grateful when they make time to play on my little records. But they keep coming back, and I love it. And Joe and Lukather came up to Ojai, where Simon and I were recording. They drove up from LA, and
wow,
and it was so cool having them both in the studio. And then we hung out after and had a nice lunch. It's been a while since I've seen Luke, and it's been a while for Simon too. And it's just a great energy, great hang, and we have it all captured on tape.
What's so funny about that is that a lot of the listeners and those that fans and followers is that they don't understand that side of the music journey, is that you're just everyday people that just happen to play music.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what it is. We just love to play, and we surround ourselves with, other like-minded people that are into the same stuff and make records. That's what it is.
Well, the full album is called The Vortex. It's a solo album. For you to relinquish it, I mean, is that a tough thing, or is it one of those things? I mean, does an alarm go off in your head saying, okay, this is it. We got to let it go now?
Yeah, at some point, there's deadlines, and you can only polish it so much, and at some point you have to just let it go to the world.
I've been with Michael Schenker. That man's imagination is always on fire. So to be in the studio with him, come on now.
Well, I wasn't in the studio with him. He recorded. He lives in Brighton, England.
Yeah, and
so logistically, I didn't get a chance because when we were recording this, all the COVID restrictions were going on, so it was impossible to. I would have loved to have flown out there and been there when he was recording, but it was impossible. But no, he was fantastic. Michael asked me to play on his Immortal album in 2020, and that was a blast. And he was really happy with what I played. So after I turned in my tracks, his manager called me and said, "Michael loves your playing and fantastic. And how much money do we owe you? How much do we owe you?" I go, "Come on, man. I can't charge Michael Schenker anything. If he wants to play on my next record, then that would be great." And he goes, "Done, done deal." So I wrote the song Die Cobra, and I wanted to write it to honor Michael, like the ultimate Michael instrumental. And so I think we did a really great job. Simon Phillips on drums. Simon was on the first MSG album in 1980, and that was the first time I ever heard of Simon. So to have both of those two on a track is special to me.
So often, and music history has done this to us, that we get to see the greats on the guitar, do their thing. But I mean, for someone on keys like you're doing with the Vortex, is like, to me, I can't wait to find out how it's going to inspire new pianists.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, it's a way you can really gauge it. It's like, if you go on YouTube, you could see a lot of young musicians are covering my music, but not only keyboard players, like guitar players are learning my licks, and bass player. I mean, it's like it's pretty flattering. I'm pretty happy about that.
Wow. Derek, you got to come back to this show anytime in the future, man. You guys have got stories that people need to know. There's no inside sleeve of an album anymore. And it's your vocals that really, bring people to the music.
Oh, cool. I appreciate you having me on, and I'd love to come on again.
You bet. You be brilliant today, okay?
All right. Thank you. You two have a great day.